All right, San Diego State's season is going to get underway against Stony Brook 3 weeks from tomorrow night at Snapdragon Stadium. They've got a fan fest that we're actually going to broadcast from a week from tomorrow. Free tickets are available for that fan fest. You can just grab them at goaztecs.com. So football is coming. Fall camp is underway. It's great to have Matt Johnson, San Diego State's offensive coordinator, back with us here. John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 and home of the Aztecs. Matt, we appreciate you taking time. We know you're about a week or two in to fall camp. For our listeners, can you let us know how the offense has looked over the first 7 or so practices? And thanks for hopping on.
Absolutely. I appreciate everybody. Thanks for having me. The offense has been looking good. The looks totally different up front, looks totally different on the edge. I know we have a lot of new faces that are going to be playing for us this year, but happy with the progress the guys have made through, the first quarter of camp, starting the second quarter this week. But so far, so good. The guys are putting in the work, and it's starting to, the results that they're chasing are starting to show up.
Can you tell us about the skill sets of Jaden Denegal and Bert Emanuel Jr. and specifically, why they fit into this offense?
Yeah, absolutely. So, starting with Jaden, the biggest thing, as everybody knows, we like to spread the field, and he truly has the arm talent to reach all the throws that we require in the offense. And Bert does the same thing. I think both of them bring a piece of athleticism that we didn't have a year ago in the system. Not that, we're looking to run the quarterback 25 times a game, but as a play caller, it's a lot easier when, something breaks down and a guy back there is mobile enough to make a play. We all know that football's an imperfect sport, and the guys between the white lines need to go out there and show their athletic ability, and I think both of those guys have the skill set to do so.
What is the relationship like? Because you've coached quarterbacks for a while. You've played the position. What's the dynamic like in a room? I've talked to Sean about this. But, there's only one quarterback, right? I mean, with the receivers, you got multiple. Tight ends, you could have multiple on the field. Typically, you're only going to see one quarterback, barring injury, in a football game. So what is that dynamic like in a quarterback room?
Yeah, I mean, it's sometimes it can be a little rough in there. Like you said, typically there's only one. But I will say that I am very blessed. These guys are from top to bottom some of the best teammates that I've witnessed. It doesn't matter who's out there. They're locked in. They're cheering whoever's in. They're cheering them on. They're cheering that unit on. Put a lot of stress on those guys on, when you are behind center, you're the leader of that unit at that time, but everybody else around you, you're not doing it alone. And I think those guys have done an unbelievable job of, talking, communicating. They'll come off the field, hey, what'd you see? I saw this. And they really lean on each other, and it's been pretty special to watch their relationship blossom.
What excites you the most about this running back room, and specifically Lucky Sutton for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, Lucky looks like a brand new kid from what he was when we first showed up here a year ago. But just having the pure depth at the position, last year we knew what we had in Coop. We relied heavily on him, and this year, I think having a true deep stable of backs is going to allow us to be pretty multiple. But I also think, and God love him, he was my running back at Kent State, but we got truly bigger than what we were last year. And, those guys bring an explosiveness, not only Lucky, but, Byron and Christian have done a great job, and Sincere's done a great job of coming off the injury from the spring. And Jordan is picking up the offense really, really quickly. So being able to have a true stable of backs and have those bigger guys that are going to be fresh for the fourth quarter, when we are ahead in games and we can lean on them in the O-line is going to be crucial for us.
Matt Johnson with us right now, San Diego State's offensive coordinator. Again, FanFest, a free event next Thursday night. You can grab free tickets at goaztecs.com. And the opener for the Aztecs against Stony Brook is 3 weeks from tomorrow at Snapdragon Stadium. This is a little off topic, but you mentioned the running backs in that room. And your roster is littered with players from Southern California and specifically San Diego County, which is somewhat unique right around college football, but there's just so much talent, obviously, in this area. How much pride is there in those guys? You got 3 tailbacks, for example, that played high school football in San Diego. That's pretty unique, isn't it?
It's very unique. I mean, a lot of these guys, they either played against each other, and in some cases they played with each other in high school. And the one thing that we're not naive to in this day and age of coaching is, even if you don't get them right out of high school, they might want to come home, which for, some of these guys, they went far and wide, and then, wherever they chose, it just wasn't for them. Well, they want to come back home. They want to be closer to their family, their friends. And, like you said, it's not like we're just taking them out of pity. Like, there's some damn good football players here in San Diego. And we take a lot of pride in recruiting San Diego with high school kids, but also those kids that jump in the portal. Like, we want to bring those guys home. We want them to get to play in front of their families and have those special moments on game day. So, yeah, we take a ton of pride in that. And you mentioned FanFest. Like, we're hoping to pack that thing out, give the guys a true experience, and having those kids from San Diego and having their friends and family so local is going to be a huge thing for us.
Coach, what receivers are so far sticking out in camp for you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Jordan Napier, he's the one that everybody knows about. He's done a great job, I think, from a leadership standpoint, kind of coming out of that redshirt freshman shadows and being a guy that has the production to come back, and he's been a very steady force for us outside. Donovan Brown is another guy that is a new face for everybody. He's done a really good job of picking up the offense. He's learning day by day because he wasn't with us in the spring, but he's done a really good job of just, going with the flow, learning things little by little, but his skill set is very unique, and we're looking to have him be explosive on the edge for us. And then we got some really good battles going on between, Jerry and Miles, Will Sanfrini. Mikey Welsh has done a great job in the speed slot room for us. So, again, like, just having the depth and the competitive maturity in those rooms that, not only of course, we want to succeed together, but those guys have to bring it every single day. And having that depth that we didn't have a year ago is pushing those guys that they have to be on their A game for practice, which has been awesome for us.
Matt Johnson with us, San Diego State's offensive coordinator. What were you hoping to accomplish via the portal when it came to the tight end position? Because you replaced basically your two starters in Jude Wolfe and Michael Harrison. So what type of player were you looking to bring in to address the needs you had at the position?
Sure. Seth is a guy that, he's going to control that C gap for us. I think we did a really good job, and Coach Lindley did a really good job of, knowing exactly what that room needed. When we went out and we got Jackson, and then we went out and got Seth. Seth is a guy, like I said, he's going to control that C gap for us, and he's going to be a thumper. And then Jackson kind of gives you the best of both worlds as far as physicality and being able to stretch the ball down the field. So, the tight end position for us is like a unicorn. You got to be able to do everything from splitting out wide by yourself to being in line and blocking a defensive end. So, there's a lot of things that we look for, but the physicality piece, I think that was priority number one for us. And I think both of those guys, we went out, we saw what we needed, and Coach Lindley did a really good job of going and attacking that recruitment. And another guy, too, is Arthur Band, who has been with us kind of silently working in the shadows of, going through a redshirt year, putting some good, muscle mass on so that he can be a key contributor for us this year as well.
Your offensive line was a clear need to improve on this offseason. You've definitely bolstered the O-line. How would you describe the O-line so far this year in camp compared to the group last year that you guys had?
Yeah, that's been my number one thing that I've been most pleasant, with, or, the thing that I've been looking forward to literally every single day. Those guys come out, obviously led by a great offensive line coach and Coach Schmidt. And like you said, we got bigger, we got stronger, and that unit has really done a great job of five guys playing as one. All led by Ross in the middle. He's been a guy that's been here since day one, but the way that those guys have been able to come together and truly been five guys that we can lean on, and it doesn't matter who's out there with the ones or the twos. Like, the O-line has been very steady throughout camp. Obviously, it hasn't been perfect, but, from where we were a year ago, it's been a complete 180, and it's been beautiful to watch.
Final one for me would just be on, like we talked about, there's only going to be one quarterback. But as you know, both of these quarterbacks possess unique skills. And Bert Emanuel Jr., for example, has been one of the more talented, rushers in the country at times over the last couple of years. In a scenario where Jaden Denigal is your quarterback, do you envision packages of plays where Bert Emanuel is on the field with him at the same time to, utilize the strengths of his skill set as well?
I mean, yeah, like we've kicked around ideas as coaches, but I'm truly focused on Bert being a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I know that was one thing that, yes, he does have a very unique skill set, and he can be very dynamic with the ball in his hands. But we're focused on him being a pure quarterback. Now, not to say that we can't get creative in certain situations because he is an explosive athlete, but to say that I'm going to limit him to just a package guy, he's done a great job since spring of coming in here and learning the offense and truly, when it's his turn, taking the bull by the horns. And he's made some really, really good plays that nobody else on the field can make just because he is a great athlete. But he's come a long way as a passer as well, so that if something were to happen or, of course, if he is the guy, then the offense doesn't have to change just because people view him as a quote-unquote runner.
Terrific insight. We're looking forward to, again, FanFest a week from tomorrow night, a week from Thursday. You can get free tickets to GoAztecs.com, and then it's hard to believe 3 weeks in a day, San Diego State on the field, its regular season opener against Stony Brook at Snapdragon Stadium. Matt Johnson, San Diego State's offensive coordinator. Coach, we appreciate you taking time for us, and we'll see you out at Snapdragon Stadium, all right?
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, please grab a friend, call a friend. Let's pack out the Fan Fest. I know Coach Lou's talking about giving a giveaway out. I mean, it's going to be a great event. Give our players an evening that they can look forward to, and I hope I see everybody there. Thanks,
what kind
guys.
of giveaway? What kind of giveaway are we talking about?
I'm not sure if I'm allowed to
Don't say that.
I'll just put that little teaser out there for everybody.
I like it. Thanks, Coach. We appreciate you.
All right. Thank you, guys.